Hopping back into the top 5 series, top 5 offensive linemen heading into the 2020 NFL season. So instead of doing a top 5 left tackles, left guards, center, whatever, I'm going to do number 1s for left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, and right tackle heading into the 2020 NFL season. So change up the formula a little bit for the offensive line. Let's get things running. So the first of 3 Notre Dame alumni at the left tackle spot is going to be Ronnie Stanley heading into the 2020 NFL season. The Baltimore Ravens left tackle was an All-Pro last year after giving up exactly 0 sacks to Lamar Jackson. This past season, Lamar Jackson improved heavily from the efforts of Ronnie Stanley as well as the rest of the Baltimore Ravens offensive line. So Stanley's performance very much so translated into the success of the Ravens offense as a whole, and as we know, the Ravens offense is very much so a running game centered offense, so Ronnie Stanley's ability in the running game is absolutely zero slouch in it as well. The dude can get down the field, make some blocks on safeties, corners, linebackers, whoever, is really good in pass protection, putting hands on defensive pass rushers, people trying to get after his quarterback. Once he gets the paws on you, you don't really seem like you're going much of anywhere. Allowed only 6 total pressures on Lamar Jackson last season. I guess you could say the only knock is that the Ravens were not, one of the bigger passing teams in the NFL last year. Bottom 10 as far as pass attempts, but hey, 0 sacks is still 0 sacks. Ronnie Stanley's still pretty young throughout his NFL career, but heading into this next season, I think he has a huge opportunity to solidify himself as one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL. He's my favorite offensive tackle heading into the 2020 NFL season, and I'm excited to see if he's going to be able to continue to keep up that pace, to keep up an all-pro level style of play. I can't imagine he's a one-hit wonder. Good offensive tackles seem to be pretty consistent over time, and Ronnie Stanley seems to be one of the next best offensive linemen in the NFL right now. Checking things over to the Indianapolis Colts left guard Quinton Nelson, who only in his 2nd season made the NFL's All-Pro team. Now, the talent and the ability of Quinton Nelson wasn't really in question at any point. He was one of my personal favorite players coming out of that draft class, along with Saquon Barkley, and Quinton Nelson has absolutely not disappointed so far. Nelson's ability in the running game has been tremendous and allowed the Indianapolis Colts last season to have their 2nd 1,000-yard rusher since 2010 in Marlon Mack, the only other being Frank Gore even before Quinton Nelson got there. So Quinton Nelson's ability has translated not only into the running game, but also the passing game. Allowed 0 sacks on his part last year. The Indianapolis Colts over the last 2 seasons have easily been one of the best offensive line units in the NFL, and well, Quinton Nelson seems to be the anchor there. Ever since coming out of Notre Dame, the 2nd Notre Dame alumni on the list, Quinton Nelson has just been straight up mauling defensive linemen, beating them down and into submission during his very short so far NFL career. Quinton Nelson's one of my favorite players in the NFL to watch. As someone who didn't spend any time playing offensive lineman in my football playing days in my youth, I can still very much so appreciate the ability and the talent and the hard work it puts into being an NFL offensive lineman. And Quinton Nelson is among my favorites. He is an absolute beast on the offensive line. He is, well, stupid talented, has an amazing work ethic, and he's got a little bit of confidence to back it up. I really seem to like that in my offensive lineman. Checking out the center spot, I got Jason Kelce of the Philadelphia Eagles. Jason Kelce is one of the only guys on this list to even allow a sack last season, allowing only 2 on Carson Wentz last year. Jason Kelce has been an absolute anchor on the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line, and with Brandon Brooks, their right guard, going down an All-Pro last season, Jason Kelce's got a little bit of a tall task ahead of him to make up for that via, signal calling, via, adjusting pressure and formations along the offensive line for the Eagles to account for the loss of Brandon Brooks on his right side. But if there's anybody in the NFL who can absolutely make up for that difference, I absolutely think it is Jason Kelce. And Kelce, being an All-Pro for the 3rd time in his NFL career, a Pro Bowler for the 3rd time in his NFL career, is the best center in football heading into 2020, with Travis Frederick retiring, leaving leaving him at the top of the throne there. Jason Kelce heading into 2020, one of my favorite offensive linemen, one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL, and certainly the best center heading in the NFL heading into the 2020 NFL season. I can very much so imagine him keeping up a very high level of play. As long as the Philadelphia Eagles remain healthy, I can see his success directly translating into the rest of the offense's success. Checking out the right guard spot, Zack Martin of the Dallas Cowboys is my favorite heading into the 2020 NFL season. The 6-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro is an absolute nightmare for interior defensive linemen. The third and final Notre Dame alumni on the list. Zack Martin's a straight up beast, and he takes, no slack from anybody. The best offensive lineman arguably on the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. No, let's not forget Tyron Smith's also there on the left side. But Dak Prescott, his ability, his talent has directly been showcased because of the great ability of Zack Martin on the interior. The person who's benefited the most from having a beast all-pro offensive lineman on the interior is, well, Ezekiel Elliott. One of the best running backs in football with one of the best offensive lines in front of him is a deadly and dangerous connection. It's a dynamic duo, and fantasy owners absolutely love the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, and Ezekiel Elliott owners absolutely love the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. But again, the anchor in that side, the offensive line, is absolutely Zack Martin, and his ability in pass protection is absolutely no slouch at all. 0 sacks allowed in the 2019 season, and heading to 2020, I'm continuing to expect him to be one of the best potential Hall of Famers down the road. He's certainly putting out a great resume for himself, and in run protection, absolute mauler, nightmare for interior defensive linemen. Zack Martin, my #1 right guard heading into the 2020 NFL season. And then last but certainly not least, the right tackle spot. I've got a really close one here between Ryan Ramczyk and Mitchell Schwartz, but I'm gonna lead Mitchell Schwartz heading into this next season, both of which allowed 0 sacks last year, but I'm gonna give the edge to Mitchell Schwartz. Coming off of a Super Bowl win, expectations are absolutely high, and when you're defending in an offense that passes the ball as much as the Kansas City Chiefs do with Patrick Mahomes and all those deadly weapons they have out there, I'm gonna give the edge to Mitchell Schwartz by just a little bit. Schwartz is an absolute beast on the right side of the offensive line. What is he, like 7 foot 16 inches tall? A huge presence out there. Great hands, great footwork, is a beast in pass protection. Allowed 0 sacks in the 2019 season, over 1,000 snaps on the right side of the offensive line. And a huge benefit is that he doesn't seem to miss time very much. He doesn't seem to be off the field really at all. The big anchor on the right side for the Kansas City Chiefs, they're absolutely going to continue to rely on Mitchell Schwartz's success to continue the offense's success around him. And, well, he's my favorite right tackle heading into the 2020 NFL season. It's really close. There's going to be New Orleans Saints fans in the comment section a little upset at me for, dissing Ryan Ramczyk. Absolutely got a ton of respect for Ryan Ramczyk. It's just it's this close to me. Really close. But Mitchell Schwartz is my #1, and then, Ryan Ramczyk, will put him at #2. Heading into the 2020 NFL season, a lot of exciting offensive linemen to watch. But thank you so much for watching the video. All my social medias are down in the description below, and feel free to stick around and watch some more content. Get the bell on a note every single time I'm dropping a video. Like, comment, share, all the good stuff, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Adios.